This video is about winter composting in general and my setup here, but I'm going to start off talking about using resting compost for cold stratification and spring seed starting. I tried this out last year, but this year I figured out a little bit more organized method, though it's the end of January, so I'm doing it kind of late, so it's possible that I'm too late to get enough cold, but we'll see. But you can see here I've already put some of these seeds in place. I'm using this pine kindling, these small just scraps of pine untreated wood. I laid a long one across the top with a couple small ones attached to it to extend it. And then at angles, I put these other ones as separators, and then I'm using the separators to label what's in there. I tried something similar last year with, there were actually two piles here last year, and I used most of the compost over the course of the year. But yeah, I did the same kind of seed starting thing over there, but I just used like the popsicle sticks, and they don't last very well. And so the labels went out, just kind of wore off, and it was hard to keep track of what was where. And I didn't have any separators, so it made it hard to identify what was what. I'm sure this will also have weeds in it, and I'll have to, figure out what's a weed and what's something that I planted intentionally. But this is a little bit more organized and something to think about. This pile is just resting over winter anyway, and I have that pile right there and the rest of that pile to use in the spring. So this pile won't need to move until the fall. So it's a perfect opportunity to make use of it, and just do some seed starting with it. Not sure there's anything else to say about it. It's pretty self-explanatory. I put numbers in there and labeled them, and I will make a list of these, so even if these markings do go away, I'll still be able to figure out what's what. And at the end of this video, I'll go through and make a list for myself of that. I think one of the keys is using these Listo marking pens. It's a wax crayon, and because of that, it should last. I suppose that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, pretty simple. One along the top, some 2-inch screws, attaching them together, and I'm using untreated wood. Make the markings, put the seeds down. That's that. Okay, so what else is going on with the compost area in the winter? This right here is the active pile. I'm keeping it semi-active, not very active, as you can see by the temperature, 45-ish. Basically, I only mix one small section at a time, like maybe a 3-foot section in this. How long is that? That's probably 15 feet long. So basically, I will add kitchen scraps to this 3-foot section, wait until it heats up a little bit, and then the next time I have kitchen scraps to add, I will add them to this 3-foot section, so that this section, the warmth of this 3-foot section, will help insulate this section while it warms up, and then this one can warm up slightly. And it doesn't stay very active. This is a slow composting process, just adding a little bit of kitchen scraps as I go, but that seems to work really well for me. I actually haven't been turning this section here because at the bottom is a deer carcass, And until that breaks down more, I really don't want to be turning it. The skin is in there and the rib cage is in there, and I don't want to have to deal with mixing that up. So basically, this half of the pile is just sitting until the risk of freezing is over. Okay. I'm also trying a bit of this milk jug method at the bottom, and I actually tried to make a video about this before, but my old phone died. The battery ran out almost instantly anytime I tried to take a video when it wasn't above 80%. So this is my first video on my new phone, so no quitting this time. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying this milk jug method. It's pretty simple. I'm sure you've heard of it before. You put holes in the bottom, you leave the cap off. I cut it all the way around. The only part that's connected still is this right here by the handle, and I cut all the way around. It lifts up just like that completely. There's a mix of 2/3 native soil and 1/3 compost in each of these, and these are native plants. Some of them with seed collected from my property, some of them, I don't know, like, yeah, sea kale is something I bought from the Experimental Farm Network. And I just point with my middle finger, don't be offended. Sea buckthorn, I mean, that's also from the Experimental Farm Network, etc. Broccoli rabe is from Oikos Tree Crops, etc. And then, yeah, just duct tape around them to keep them together. And I banked them up against this compost pile. I know it's not very warm, but I figure it will give it a little bit of warmth, enough to keep it from freezing or getting too cold. Then over here, in the front here, are leaves from 2 years ago. In the back are leaves collected this year from people. Actually, this is primarily the leaf bags, 300 or so leaf bags I collected from town, just piled up. As I clear the snow from the compost area, I do my best to throw it all over here because it needs as much moisture as it can at this early stage. I mean, a lot of them were really dry and the moisture needs to sink in. I also dump all of the kitchen waste liquids, like, you know, if you're rinsing off a plate and there's a lot of sauce on it, or you're rinsing out a milk jug, or I mean, I put all of my coffee grounds into this active pile, but you can't really scoop all of the coffee grounds out without rinsing them. So I rinse them, and that goes in here, and all that kind of stuff just basically gets thrown on top of here. So these leaves will sit for 2 or 3 years. These leaves will sit for another year, and then I'll compost them actively, and hopefully the fungus will have broken them down enough that I don't have to shred them with the mower, or I don't know. I'm actually thinking about some type of leaf shredder, a leaf vac or something like that. Right here are there are buckets, 7-gallon buckets and 5-gallon buckets with some various tree seeds like walnuts and hazelnuts and acorns and all sorts of stuff. I think I've covered that before, though. I suppose that's all I have to say. I'm excited to get chickens into the mix this year, and actually that's something I haven't considered with this seed starting thing. I might have to take steps to keep chickens out of here in the spring, because I mean, this shed and chicken coop are almost done. Just have to put the walls and floor up and frame out the doors and stuff, and I'll be ready to go with chickens in the spring. So we'll see how that goes. I assume chickens would completely destroy this setup, which next year I'll try to set it up outside the fence or something. that's a whole new world that I don't know anything about yet. So we'll see how that goes. I guess that's all I have to say about my winter composting. So thanks for watching, and take care. Stick around if you want to listen to me listing off these the seeds that I have here. But if not, farewell. Okay. First one in the this is the northeast corner is New Jersey tea. Those actually aren't yet in place. I still have to soaking them for 24 hours in hot water. And another note, yes, I know this might be too late for doing this, or maybe I already said that. New Jersey tea, I'm actually going to put milkweed all over this back end. That's what this will be labeled as, but I haven't done it. Okay, 21, New Jersey tea. 22, Black-Eyed Susan. 23, sea buckthorn. 24, I forgot what I put here, and I forgot to label it right away. I have no idea why I did that. Wish I had a better memory, but I am who I am. 25, whatever kind of primrose has grown randomly over in that area. I think it's evening primrose, but I'm not entirely sure. 26, ironweed. 27, bush clover that grows wild. All over the property, but primarily these seeds were taken from by the road over there. Really excited about that, to have a native clover. 28, columbine. Oh. 29 to the left here, Myrica pennsylvanica, something like that, bayberry. 30, wild up here, just one little section up here is from wild plants that just grew here, wild, and then from, I think, Baker Creek. This, let's see, this is wild, and down from here and lower is cultivated bergamot. Wild and Baker Creek bergamot. I think it was Baker Creek. I'm not totally sure. 31 to the left here, cardinal flower. Tons of those seeds. Excited about that. 32, woodland sunflower that grows native here. Just a small section like there. And then this section, I'm going to put some redbud seeds. 33, Dietrich's, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Dietrich's broccoli rob from Oikos Tree Crops, this section. And then these, I haven't figured it out yet. Another note, if you're still around, one thing I did was put the things that I thought would sprout last to this side. That's an important thing to think about, because if I end up needing to move this compost, I'd rather start at that end, removing it, and leave this end. I actually ended up not appreciating that this whole area was for seed starting, because it was in the way, because I needed to get to the compost, and it was just kind of an issue. So that's one thing to consider that I should have said earlier, but I didn't. But okay, I guess that's it. Let me go through this other part of the list too. I told you could stop watching, so if you're still watching, it's your own fault. Number 1 in the jugs, red pine. Number 2, bush clover. Number 3, woodland sunflower. And this is starting from the north side. Number 4, a blue aster that just grows native here. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. Number 5, New England aster. Number 6, frost aster. Number 7, that evening primrose or whatever it is that grows native here. Number 8, Dietrich's broccoli rob. Number 9, ironweed. Number 10, coneflower. Number 11, sea buckthorn. 12, sea kale from that experimental farm network. This was too, the sea buckthorn. Number 13, horse mint from Big Blue Stem Farm. Number 14, black-eyed Susan. Number 15, milkweed. Okay, take care.